Hello students. So today we will be doing polyesters. In my last lecture we studied about polythene, polyamides, polyacrylonitrile and polytetrafluoroethene. I hope that was clear. Okay. Now next go to the polyesters. So what is the meaning of the word polyester? As the name indicates, it is a polymer that contains many ester linkages. So the repeating unit will be joined by the ester linkages. And how are these ester linkages formed? These ester linkages are formed by the condensation polymerization of carboxylic acids and glycols. Carboxylic acids contains 2 COH group and glycols contain 2 OH group. So the interlink between the monomers would be of C double bond OO, that is the ester linkage. So commercially, the most important polyester fiber is terylene, which is called Declon, and polyethylene terephthalate, which is called PET. So let's see how Dacron is formed. So Dacron is formed by the condensation polymerization of ethylene glycol and terephthalic acid in the presence of catalyst and at high temperature. So ethylene glycol and terephthalic acid, they react to form a monomer, and times monomer gives you polymers. So here you see ethylene glycol, CH2OH, CH2OH, this is ethylene glycol. So N molecules of ethylene glycol and N molecules of terephthalic acid. The terephthalic acid has got a benzene ring with 2 COH group on the either side. So terephthalic acid, they, in the presence of zinc acetate antimony trioxide catalyst, temperature 420 to 460 Kelvin, form terylene or Dacron. Okay, so here if you closely observe CH2OH, CH2OH, or the H molecule, H atom of ethylene glycol and OH of carboxylic acid, they combine to form water, and molecules of water are given out and the ester linkage is created, and N molecules of ester linkages are formed. When N molecules of ethylene glycol and N molecules of terephthalic acid, they undergo condensation polymerization. So what is formed here? Terylene or Dacron. So OH, CH2, CH2OH, N molecules of ethylene glycol and HO carboxylic acid group are two carboxylic acid groups in the terephthalic acid. They condense and terylene is formed. So what are the properties of terylene? I think everybody must have seen this terylene material. It has got a very high melting point, of course, and it is resistant to heat, grease, chemical, light, and they are not attacked by moths and bacteria. They are resistant to water. So if you put terylene in water, it doesn't get wet easily. So it is resistant to water. So these are the properties of. So now uses of terylene. It is used in the manufacture of wash and wear fabric. That is a fabric which after wash can be worn immediately because it is crease resistant. It is not required to iron it and then wear it. Then when it is blended with cotton, it forms terrycot. When it is blended with wool, it forms terry wool. And this increases their resistance to wear and tear. Then it is used for the preparation of fishing nets, ropes, trousers, magnetic tape recorders, tires, and also it is used for making glass reinforcing materials which are present in the helmets. So I think you understand what terylene is. So now on the basis of categorization, what is the category of terylene? Based on source, it belongs to which polymer? Synthetic polymer. Then based on structure, it is a linear polymer. Based on mode of polymerization, it is prepared by condensation polymerization. As we just now saw, it is prepared by the condensation of ethylene glycol and terephthalic acid. Then based on intermolecular forces, it is a fiber. Then based on type of monomers, it is a heteropolymer because it is prepared from two monomers, and based on biodegradability, it is a non-biodegradable biodegradable. It cannot be decomposed by the microorganisms. Then polyethylene terephthalate, PET. So PET is also the most common thermoplastic, which is another trade name of polyester, polyethylene terephthalate. So which is used in making the articles like bottles, jam packing, containers. When it is being used as a fiber to make clothes, it is called polyester. It may sometimes be known with the brand name Terylene, but when it is used for making bottles, it is usually called PET. So that is the difference between PET and Terylene. Now let us see the categorization of PET. Based on source, this is also a synthetic polymer. Based on structure, it is also a linear polymer. Based on mode of polymerization, it is prepared by condensation polymerization. Based on intermolecular forces, it is a thermoplastic which cannot be recasted and remolded. Then based on monomers, it is also a heteropolymer, and based on biodegradability, it is a non-biodegradable. Polycarbonate polymer is also a polyester polymer, but it is high melting point and it is a thermosetting resin. So polycarbonates are used in making electronic application, telecommunication, optics, CD, etc. Now let's see the categorization of polycarbonate polymer. It is based on source. This is also a synthetic polymer, but based on structure, it is a cross-linked polymer. Then based on mode of polymerization, it is a condensation. It is prepared by condensation polymerization. Based on intermolecular forces, it is thermosetting type. Based on type of monomers, it is a heteropolymer. And based on biodegradability, this is also non-biodegradable. Now coming to the next category, phenol, formaldehyde and related polymers. So first one is bakelite. Bakelite is also a thermosetting polymer and it is prepared by the reaction of phenol and formaldehyde. So phenol and formaldehyde, they react in the presence of acid or base and they form the thermosetting polymer, which is also called Novoloc in two stages. So you will understand what is Novoloc in two stages just now. And in the third stage, this various articles are shaped from Novoloc by putting it in appropriate mold at high temperature between 138 to 176 degrees centigrade and at high pressure. So basically, during the third stage of thermosetting in the molds, many cross links are formed which results in formation of a polymetallic material that is called bakelite. So let's see the formation of bakelite now, reaction. So as we said just now, bakelite is formed by the reaction of phenol and formaldehyde in the presence of acid or base. So phenol, as we all know, is a ortho and para directing, shows plus M effect. So the CH2O group gets added on the ortho and para positions. So why it gets added? Because ortho and para positions there is a nucleophilic center and this carbon is an electrophile. So carbon attacks on the electrons and gets attached here. So CH2O is formed and O carries a negative charge because C double bond O is a carbonyl group. Carbon is electropositive, O is electronegative. It attracts the electron towards itself. So the CH2O gets attacked here and the H, which was already present on this ortho position, gets added on O. So CH2OH gets added on the ortho position. So that's how CH2OH gets added on the ortho position. And also para position. So you see here the CH2OH gets added on all the three ortho and para positions. So this is stage 1. Now stage 2, what happens? the two subsequent this phenol formaldehyde molecules, they go on adding amongst themselves and create a link between them. So CH2OH, when it reacts with another molecule of phenol formaldehyde, the H of the benzene ring and OH of CH2OH gets together, water is removed, and the CH2 groups gets joins the two phenol formaldehyde molecules. So likewise, a linear chain of phenol formaldehyde is created, which is called Novalec. The process doesn't stop here. This is one single linear chain created. Now between these linear chains also, the molecule of formaldehyde adds up like this, and water molecule is given out, and the further cross links are created between the two chains. So here you see the between the phenol formaldehyde, the CH2 link is formed and cross links are created. So this makes the molecule more hard, and hence bakelite is formed. So properties of bakelite. So as we understood now by the structure that it is insoluble, it is infusible, it has got very high tensile strength, it can serve as a substitute for glass. What are the uses of bakelite? So low degree polymerization gives soft bakelites, and these soft bakelites are used for making glue, for binding laminated woolen planks, and in varnishes. When high degree of polymerization gives a hard structure, which is used for making electrical switches, plugs, fountain pens, phonograph records, handles of cooker, frying pans, combs, telephone instrument, kitchenware, and electric insulators. So that is all made up of bakelite. So if it is a low degree polymerization, then glue is used for making glue. But if it is a high degree polymerization, then electrical switches, plugs, fountain pens, and all hard substances are made. So in second stage, the linear polymer form was Novalec polymer, and this is used in making paints. So this is used in making paints. So Novaloc is nothing else but a linear chain copolymer of phenol and formaldehyde. Sometimes they ask a question, what is Novaloc? So that is why this emphasis I have given here. Now, bakelite polymers, how do you categorize them? Based on source, they are synthetic polymers. Based on structure, they are cross-linked polymers. Based on mode of polymerization, they are prepared by condensation polymerization. Based on structure, based on intermolecular forces, they are thermosetting type. Based on type of monomers, they are heteropolymers. And based on biodegradability, they are non-biodegradable. Now, melamine formaldehyde. So, as the name indicates, melamine formaldehyde polymers. That means these polymers are made up of melamine and formaldehyde. So, melamine and formaldehyde, they undergo condensation polymerization, and they are linked also by cross links, and the melamine formaldehyde is formed. Let's see the reaction. So what is the formula of melamine? First you should know. It is again aromatic ring like benzene ring, but only difference is that three positions of this molecule are occupied, of the benzene ring are occupied by N, and three positions are occupied by carbon. And the fourth valency of carbon is satisfied by NH2 group. So this is melamine. So when melamine and formaldehyde, they condense, melamine formaldehyde resin is formed. So you see here, when the CH2O, when it reacts with CH2O molecule, where it was NH2, H has gone to oxygen, electronegative oxygen, and NHCH2OH is formed. So there in phenol formaldehyde, the CH2OH was getting linked on the ortho and para position, while here you see in melamine, the NH, the H of amino group goes to CH2O and CH2OH, NHCH2OH is formed. So here you see this further gets added to the second molecule. So this is melamine formaldehyde, and this further goes on adding, and water molecules are given out, and CH2 linkages are formed. Now, what are the uses? Uses of melamine formaldehyde. Decorative tabletops like formica, plastic dinnerwares are made from heat, moisture, resistant thermosetting plastic called melamine formaldehyde resin. Then let's see the categorization. Based on source, it's a synthetic polymer. Based on structure, it's a cross-linked polymer. Based on mode of polymerization, it is a condensation polymerization. Prepared by condensation polymerization. Based on intermolecular forces, it is a thermosetting polymerase. And based on monomer, it is a heteropolymer. Based on biodegradability, it is a non-biodegradable polymer. So, viscose rayon. Viscose rayon is a semi-synthetic fiber which is a regenerated cellulose. So it is treated with chemicals. Regenerated cellulose means cellulose, raw cellulose is treated with chemicals to make it of a better quality. So cellulose in the form of wood pulp is transformed into the viscose rayon. Cellulose is a linear polymer of glucose units and has molecular formula C6H10O5 and cellulose in the form of wood pulp is treated with concentrated alkali solution to get fluffy cellulose. And which is converted to xanthate by treating with carbon disulfide. Then on mixing with NaOH, it gives viscose solution which is filled up in spinnerates and of the spinning machine into, and they are extruded into the acid bath where the regenerated cellulose fibers get precipitated. So in the reactions, let's see, cellulose OH is the cellulose wood pulp. This on alkaline hydrolysis gives you alkali cellulose, and this alkali cellulose when it is treated with carbon disulfide, it gives cellulose xanthate, which on hydrolysis gives the viscose rayon. So this viscose rayon is of a good quality and it is a regenerated cellulose. Okay, these are some of the questions. You can solve these questions. These are important questions actually of 2 marks. So these are some of the questions. Define synthetic rubber. Write the examples of it. Arrange the following polymers in the increasing order of their intermolecular forces. Now write the reaction of the following polymers: Bunaize, neoprene. So you can solve these questions, and if you have doubts, you can always come back. Okay, thank you.